State of Nevada versus Yuxia Zhang, case number C343540.
Tracing bits for the state.
Hi, Judge Shetler, 4747.
Hi. So this is on for a motion to withdraw as counsel. Ms. Zhang, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Based on the affidavit that I saw, it says it appears as if Ms. Zhang has requested you to not be on the case, but I didn't have anything from her that said that she had actually fired you, and she has invoked her right to have counsel, and we have nobody left. So I don't feel comfortable granting this motion. We've reached out to the special prosecutor's office. Mr. Shetler was it. And so to the extent that you would want counsel, I have nobody else within the state that I can appoint for you.
Why not?
Because you've gone through every single attorney.
Sorry, I don't catch. What's that meaning?
It means that the state has only a certain number of attorneys that are either public defenders or work through the special prosecutor's office. And you've gone through all of them. We have nobody else that we can appoint for you. So I'm not going to allow Mr. Shetler to withdraw.
This is a violation of my process rights.
Ma'am, no, it's not. Because you have been appointed attorney after attorney after attorney, and you are not listening to your attorneys. And I don't have anybody else that I can appoint for you.
It's not. I don't listen to my attorneys. My attorney don't listen to me.
Okay, well, I don't have anybody else that I can appoint for you. So
I can recommend myself.
if you can get your own attorney, great. You can get your own attorney and you can have them substitute in for Mr. Shetler. But no, you asked for this court to appoint you an attorney. You said that you couldn't go forward without an attorney. Yes, you had a phoretic canvas before and you passed your phoretic canvas, but then right prior to trial, you and your husband said that you could not go forward without an attorney. So the court went through great effort and great expense to make sure that you had an attorney to represent you. And now I don't have an affidavit that says that you've fired him. I don't have anything that indicates that Mr. Shetler is not doing a good job. As a matter of fact, he's done a very good job for you. And
okay,
I'm not going to allow him to withdraw at this time unless I have more information, because the only thing that the court currently has is that you all disagree on where you would like this case to go. But you've disagreed with every single one of your attorneys, ma'am, and we have delayed this trial. Let me finish and then I will let you speak. And we have delayed this trial over and over and over and over again in order for you to be able to either have representation or go forward on your own or get expert witnesses. And we're not going to keep on delaying the trial. And as it currently stands, there are no other attorneys within the state of Nevada that I can have appointed to this case. You've gone through them all.
okay.
Now
Okay, now it's my turn, okay?
Yes.
Okay, I need to make a record and have a right to be heard. I, Yuxia Zhang, understand that I am to tell the truth in all matters. And if I do not, I'm subject to the penalties of perjury. Having qualified my testimony, I aver that Ms. Shelter has been in effective assistance of counsel for around 6 months. He repeatedly failed to take an active role in my defense. and he failed to file several important court documents at my request. In addition to that, he ignored my multiple emails regarding the urgency to file those same court documents. As Ms. Shelter refused to respond, he left me no choice but to file those court documents on my own, which has been termed by the court as fugitive documents. They would not have been fugitive if Ms. Shelter has simply and timely filed them. Ms. Shelter admits to a breakdown in communication in his April 18, 2025 motion. I would go so far as to say there is no attorney-client relationship here, as my emails go ignored for long periods of time and important deadlines are missed. For example, in Ms. Shelter's February 21st, 2025 letter to me, he wrote, "You are entitled to timely response."
Hold on 1 second, Miss Zhang. Let me stop you for 1 second. I don't want to hear this because I want to admonish you for 1 second. Anything that you share with the court that is between you and Mr. Shetler is attorney-client privileged. So if you are going to read anything between you, I need you to understand that you are waiving that attorney-client privilege at this juncture. Do you understand that?
Yes, I will.
All right. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Ms. Shelter goes on to state in his April 18, 2025 motion, the basis for the request is that the undersigned and Ms. Zhang are unable to agree on defense strategies. I completely agree, and for this reason alone, Ms. Shelter must be replaced. There is no making amends or opportunities for reconciliation here. There are numbers of loose ends for my defense that still has not been addressed by Ms. Shelter in all these months after repeated attempts to take action. This is akin to having Ms. Shelter pull my life raft under the water. This is an unreasonable and intolerable situation. Lastly, I do not trust I would get a fair trial with Ms. Shelter as my court appointed counsel, and respectfully require this court to substitute replacement counsel as soon as possible. I stand on my statement here. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Shetler, I'll hear from you.
I don't know if there's much to add, Your Honor. We certainly, when I came onto this case, I certainly did not expect that every day was going to be laid back and relaxed. And I have, without getting into any other issues, made several efforts to try and facilitate communication. Frequently, mostly my communication is with the co-defendant. They'll do a conference call, which generally that's fine. His attorney is aware of it. I'm worried if I actually get information from my client at times, but there's certainly no question that we are at a challenging place communicating with each other. We do have a difference of opinion as to whether or not some things will be helpful or not helpful. My goal is to get her to a not guilty verdict, or as best as I can, and I think I can do that. I didn't file that motion lightly. I don't want to say much more. I just think that I'm happy to stay on the case. I fully expected this would probably be the outcome. To remove me at this time would only delay things further if there was someone to replace me with.
There's not.
My client may file some more paper. I don't know. I'll stop there.
I don't have any information in front of me as to what you failed to file. And everything that I have seen, I understand that originally they were treated as fugitive documents, but subsequently you filed them. They've been considered, and I'm speaking specifically to the motion to disqualify me, the affidavits that were filed. All of that has been addressed by the chief There was a motion for reconsideration that was filed. That was addressed. All of those have been addressed. I don't know what other filings that potentially she wanted you to file that have not been filed. I will say for purposes of the record that you have a duty as an officer of the court to not file anything that would be frivolous or vexatious or harassing. You also have a duty under Rule 11 to make sure that anything that you file is either supported factually or supported by the law or for a good faith extension or modification of the law. And so I have not been provided with any additional information that would show that you have violated that duty as far as not filing something that she had asked you to file that was in fact either not frivolous or backed by existing law and or a good faith extension modification of existing law and or factually supportable. So if there are documents that she has asked you to file that would fall within those parameters, i.e. they are factually supportable or they are backed by existing law and or a good faith modification or extension of existing law, and those have not been filed, then the court would entertain potentially a motion with additional information. But right now, based on what has currently been provided to the court and based on the posture that this case is in, and we did reach out to the special prosecutor's office, we reached out to Susan Bush, there is nobody else that I can appoint at this juncture. And so the court is left in between a rock and a hard place of we've gone through all of the attorneys that could be appointed in this case. And when you were appointed, it was based on Ms. Zhang's very specific request to have counsel, not standby counsel, but actual counsel appointed for her. And so we did that, and there's nobody else that I can appoint at this juncture. And so without an underlying factual basis that is sufficient to allow the court to allow you to withdraw, I am not going to grant the motion at this time. You are instructed to stay on the case and to attempt to work with Ms. Zhang to try and bridge any gaps that you all have. Thank you.
Object, I object.
Your objection is noted for the record, Ms. Zhang. Thank you very much.
Object.
Noted for the record. Thank you very much. We're off the record.